I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 10 years old, and all my life I've struggled with a lot of traits that people like me have, like having a bad short term memory and, losing focus. But one thing I've always really struggled with is trying to explain what it's like to be ADHD. So, instead of telling you what it is, I want to show you it. I want to show you the world through my eyes.
Overfocusing is when you find something really interesting. So instead of finding it really hard to focus on it, you find it really easy. So for hours on end, you can focus on this one thing without getting distracted and without stopping. And in that time, you can think really quickly, you can think really fast. It feels like a superpower. Ready? And I will stop you this time. I just want to give you a run through. 3, 2, 1. That being said, it's very easy to overfocus on the wrong things and get distracted from what you need to do.
You see Martin up at the bar. What's he doing up there? Don't trust anyone. Do you want to live like it? Just trust Mr. Roberts. I don't trust. We just started painting today.
On the flip side, however, when you get tired or when it's just not that interesting, focus is really, really hard. It feels like you're trying to push a boulder up a hill.
Actually, Scott and I saw him leaving for work the other day. Any issues? No, but Scott reckoned he didn't look happy. Well, if I look like that, I wouldn't be happy.
He's looking worse than you. Must be awful.
Oh, that reminds me. I saw Mr. Roberts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, lovely chap.
isn't he?
When did you?
I know. He offered to do some life drawing with me.
She turned me down. What's that? It's when you draw.
As a result, academic work can be pretty tough. Sometimes I can overfocus on the work and that feels great because I'm at the speed of light. But a lot of the time, and in fact most of the time, it's really hard because either I'm tired or the work's just not interesting. What I find really hard though is reading. It just takes up so much effort and energy just to focus on the words on the page that it takes a very long time for me to get through any bit of reading.
The slaves were an integral part of the island's marketing network, selling and bartering produce from their provision grounds, fish, small game, and poultry. Second, the free Trinidadian laborers were an integral part of the workforce on the estate, the island, functioned with a diversity of labor patterns, the free labor mix consisted mostly of free blacks, free colored, black American refugees, disbanded black soldiers, and Spanish peons, of mixed Amerindian, African, and Spanish heritage, 45. In play Mars, Matura syncretizes carnivalesque structural patterns and performance elements such as dance, music, and masks, with dramaturgical conventions from the Western theatrical tradition. He strings together autonomous scenes, each of which signs in vivid images different aspects of his criticism of Trinidad's complex social and political situation before and after the attainment of national independence in 1962. Instead of developing a linear plot, he employs the exhibible open structure of epic theatre and carnival. His main concern is not a consistent reconstruction of the mechanisms and causes of internal and external developments, but the representation of social and political reality as a dynamic, constantly changing process determined both by general circumstances and condition.
This makes it mentally exhausting. The amount of time and effort I have to put into it, that it becomes really draining. It does get to me. There is so much more to being ADHD than just struggling with focus. Being ADHD is so complex, and there are some great parts to it. It helps me see the world in a different way, a way that quite often is beautiful. And hopefully, this film has helped you understand ADHD differently too.